Crystal the Cottage Witch, and I have no makeup on because I'm doing a cleansing how-to video, so I'm in my work around the house clothes. So today I'm going to be reprogramming my walls after clearing out my energy, and I figured this would be fun to share with some of you guys. If some of you guys live in apartment areas, or sometimes you just feel like the energy gets kind of stuck in your space with nowhere else to go, you can reprogram your walls. Well, if you have drywall, it's the best because there's actually gypsum in forms of selenite in there. So while that's a stone by itself, technically, that does not need to be cleansed by, spiritual means and whatnot. You can reprogram your stones because normally you program your stones yourselves. They do have the properties, but you put in the extra oomph and intention. So I'm going to show you how I reprogram my walls. This is my page in my Book of Shadows for it. This is a special sigil I made, and I have a special chunk of selenite that I use for while I do it. So I moved all the big stuff out of my space. Sorry, all my windows are open. I moved all the big stuff out of my space. I just got to take some things down over here because you want the wall to be refreshed of energy. So I normally have a lamp over here and my mom's old ficus tree and a chair and the litter box. So I moved all that out, swept up the floor, shook everything out, did my sound over it. I'm going to be doing the same thing with these right over here. Wipe down the walls real quick to actually cleanse them. And then we're going to start to spiritually cleanse and then reprogram and then fill up with intentions. So it's going to be fun. I'm going to do this on a time lapse. Maybe I'll do a voiceover, but we'll see how fast I could actually work on a time lapse. See you soon. All right, now that we have cleared the energy from that area, and now we're going to reprogram it, I figured I'd give you a closer look at what I'm going to be doing. So this is a sigil that I had made. So I had used the Saturn protection grid in this one. This isn't an end-all to be-all type of sigils, but it has a very specific meaning. That's why it looks like this. And again, because I'm using a planetary grid, I had wrote out my intention. And then I had removed all vowels and then all repeating letters because you want to keep the consonant sound, because the consonant sound has more of a vibrational tone. So when you're doing sigils, there's more than like 1,000 ways to do a sigil. A lot of people use the traditional like 9 grid, which is the Saturn protection grid. But there's so many other grids that you could use. The grid has been adapted to the witch's wheel, and that's why 9 is familiar to people, but it's only for one thing. So again, there's a lot to, when you do your sigils, you could do them more in a, kind of like a chaos magic way. Sorry, I was dancing when I was doing like my sound clearing because my jam came on, and I'm like, out of breath. So I don't know if that showed up. I was probably moving too quick, so hopefully it didn't. But anyway, so I had my intention, and I wrote it out. This you can put on a piece of paper. This you can make a sigil and trace it with a cleaning product if you want. What I did before this is I did my own way of cleansing the walls. That's my personal way of doing it, so that I'm not going to share because again, that's personal, so I'm not going to share how I protect and ward my home. I'm just giving you like a basic thing of how to reprogram your walls. But like say if you were doing I know a lot of people have different opinions about this, like white sage. That is considered like, that clears everything, good and bad. It's a bleach, basically, when it comes to like spiritual practices. So if you really, really wanted to start over and not have any form of anything in your house and completely fill back up again, then yeah, you could use white sage. Again, all different mixed opinions. Mine were given to me by my Native American friends, most of them. Some other ones that I have had. But it's not endangered or anything else like that. Everyone's like, it's endangered. That was a whole thing that happened a few years ago from like poaching and fires that was in the West Coast. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. But for your sigil, for your home, if you have like a name for your home, some people name their homes. I have a name. Everyone knows my house is the Pez Res, but that's not my house's name. But you could put the name of your home in there too and word it out, or anything else that you want to protect or bring or set a loving vibe. You could do that in the sigil. I keep mine and I charge mine in this specific page, so I just have to hold it up to the wall. I also have like the selenite that is normally on the sigil, charging it up beforehand, and then I speak my messages to the piece of selenite. So you can do it this way too if you don't want to make a sigil. This was just one example. I do both because again, I live in an apartment, and beforehand, when my mom lived here, she was also very depressed. So like years of programming of that coming into the walls, and selenite and gypsum, they amplify other crystals too. So if you have seasonal depression, sometimes like in your own house, you'll feel it 20 times more because it's kind of amplifying that energy. Again, this isn't something that everybody does. It's just something that like I found, and it helps me. Like, it might not help you. A lot of people will be like, what the hell is she talking about? But I use it for mine, and it really does help. Also, your walls, for me, they're connected to like other apartment buildings and the floors and the ceiling. So I like to reprogram mine because I'm literally boxed in by people, and I do get seasonal depression. So this is the time of year I like to reprogram it. So I'll speak my intentions to my crystal. I'll leave it on the sigil. And then afterwards, what I'll do is I'll hold the selenite to the wall after everything is in it. So it's another piece of selenite connecting with it. You could use your hands if you don't have selenite. You could use another crystal if you want. I just use it for like with like, and it's also in the shape of a heart. It doesn't have to be in the shape of a heart to do this. This was just given to me, so it was given with love, so I use it. But you could also just hold your hands against the wall, speak your intention, use visualization, picture like a golden net cascading over the house so it's nice and protected, or bubbles or flowers coming out of the wall, or anything that makes you feel happy, or anything that makes you feel safe, anything that makes you feel protected, anything that you want the vibe for your house to be, just do it. If you have one main wall that's like considered the heart wall, you could do that one. I normally do it for all my walls, plus like I do have friends over, so like I don't want them to get like argument of neighbors, or my seasonal depression, or just people stressed day in and day out from work. So I'm kind of randomly reprogramming my walls for me, because I had to do it a little bit longer because one, this again apartment was filled with depression for decades. And it's hard to kind of bypass that sometimes, as well as my own seasonal depression, which kind of feeds it. So I'll do mine a decent amount of times, but there's such a difference when you do it, because it's not like a normal clearing and cleansing, because it's like a complete fresh layer. And I will do main walls in my area. So I have like my heart wall that I mainly do, and then where people normally sit down, I'll make sure those walls, or if I have time, I'll do every single wall that I have. Again, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to start by, holding my book to the wall and repeating what the sigil has, like what the words that they originally used to make the sigil, as well as holding up my crystal to reprogram it. I am still out of breath and I'm trying to talk normal, and instead all I'm doing is just stuttering over my words. I hope some of this made sense. I look terrible without makeup. I look like I'm exhausted. Well, I am exhausted. All right, let's begin. Thought this video was weird. It's about to get even weirder for the last step that I do. That you don't have to do it all. This is just what I do. I make a spray, an herbal spray, and I go over my walls with a paint roller because I got little arms, so I just do it to seal in everything. I have 2 different sprays that I use that I made. Aren't they so pretty? So colorful. I just do this super quick and easy because this is the wall that is for outside. And everyone argues underneath that area, so I seal it up nice and tight. So again, you don't have to do anything like that. I do it because it's so much easier because I also do my walls and my ceiling and everything. So yeah, I go hard. But there's a reason why I think maybe why everybody loves my home and the feeling of it and why time doesn't exist. So I'm hoping that's a good thing. All right, let's do it. All right, now what I'm gonna do that off camera and just show the end part is before I put everything back, I do my cleanse, how I do my cleanse, which sorry, I'm not gonna share, but I'll cleanse everything out. You know, if you're going to do the same thing, hi Kitty. Kitty agrees, apparently. Anything that you, I have her hair in my mouth, oh my gosh. Anyway, that didn't taste too good. What you could do is, because I have chairs with cushions, I'll take everything out, obviously clean it, wash it, whatnot. I wash, you know, another witch tip I'm going to throw in here real quick. If you have your own washer and dryer, if you like moon water or holy water or Florida water or St. Michael's water or any of the archangels waters or any kind of ritual water that you make, rue water, anything like that, you can add that into your, you know, your clothes to wash it. I do that with like all my couch stuff. So it's extra cleanse because again, people sit on it and I sit on it after I've been places. I don't know. I'm really big onto energy, but again, that's just me. That's a me thing. That doesn't have to be a you thing. I'm very just sensitive with energy. Like I pick up on it hard and it just drains the balls out of me. Anyway, but shake everything out. Do some sound things over it and then cleanse each thing before you bring it into that space because you don't want any of that ick that was on it before to be brought back and again be transferred to the walls. So I'll probably do this again to reprogram. Probably maybe springtime to reprogram because there's more light coming in to charge the walls and charge the crystals that are in the walls and you know, all that good stuff. And then I'll just fill it with a different vibe for spring and summer. And then again, I'll do it again for winter and fall. Well, fall going into winter to help me with my seasonal depression. So yeah, it's probably going to be a lot darker by the time I get this done because I started this late. It's like 6 o'clock now and it's like, you know, sunset time. So it's probably going to be pretty dark by the time I finish this and set it up. But afterwards, let me know if you could feel the vibe change when I show the after. I know I should have done it before, but I was like starting it. I was like, oh, I should have filmed this because some people might find this helpful or they just might be like, that's a weird witchy thing. So it's another weird witchy thing. But yeah, and if this helps any of you, please let me know. I hope you enjoyed and I'm going to put everything back and then show the after.